Have you ever had someone suddenly pull away from you, leaving you confused and questioning what went wrong? You replay the interactions in your mind, searching for clues, but nothing makes sense. You didn't do anything to harm them. There was no argument, no obvious reason for the distance. Yet, without warning, they withdrew, avoiding you as if your very presence had become overwhelming. It's frustrating and even painful when people react in ways you don't understand. The uncertainty can weigh on your heart, leaving you wondering if you unknowingly did something to push them away. But what if their withdrawal had nothing to do with you at all? What if, instead, it had everything to do with what they saw in you? Sometimes, when people encounter certain energies, especially those radiating purity, strength, and authenticity, they experience a deep and unexpected reaction. You may not realize it, but your presence alone can act as a mirror, reflecting back to them things they are not yet ready to face. This isn't about your words or actions. It's about what your energy reveals to them about themselves. The truth is, you may unknowingly be a catalyst for awakening, and not everyone is prepared to handle that. Some people will embrace it, but others will run. At first, they were drawn to you in ways they couldn't quite explain. There was something about you that intrigued them, something that made them feel seen, understood, and perhaps even inspired. They may have approached with curiosity, eager to know more, to feel more. But then, as the connection deepened, something within them shifted. The initial attraction transformed into apprehension. They started to feel exposed, not because of anything you did, but because your presence illuminated truths they had buried for so long. For some, this kind of exposure is liberating. It sparks growth, self-awareness, and transformation. But for others, it triggers fear. When someone has spent years, maybe even their entire life, avoiding certain aspects of themselves, whether it's past wounds, insecurities, or hidden potential, they will instinctively resist anything that forces them to confront those truths. And so, their subconscious defense mechanism kicks in. Instead of facing what they see in the mirror you unknowingly hold up to them, they choose the easiest option: to retreat. The withdrawal may come suddenly, without explanation. One day, they are fully engaged, and the next, they are distant, their energy shifting in ways you never anticipated. They may avoid conversations, change their tone, or simply disappear without a trace. This can be incredibly painful, especially when you have no understanding of why it's happening. But the truth is, they are not rejecting you. They are rejecting the version of themselves they see reflected in your presence. It's important to recognize that this is not about your worth. It's not about you being too much or doing something wrong. In fact, quite the opposite. You are embodying something powerful, something that challenges the limitations they have placed upon themselves. Your energy, your light, your authenticity, these things serve as reminders of the potential they have yet to step into, the wounds they have yet to heal, and the truths they have yet to accept. And that can be terrifying for someone who isn't ready. If you've ever felt this kind of unexplained distance from someone, take a moment to reflect on your own experiences. Have you ever encountered someone who mirrored something back to you? Someone whose presence made you rethink your choices, question your beliefs, or confront your fears? If so, you understand how unsettling that can be. Now imagine being the one who unknowingly triggers those emotions in others. That is the role you play in the lives of those who pull away. There's something even deeper at play here, something rooted in the paths we walk and the lessons we are meant to learn. Many of the people who are drawn to you are walking a journey that, in some ways, parallels your own. They see in you a version of themselves they either aspire to become or are afraid of becoming. It's as if your energy acts as a preview of what they could step into, if only they were willing to embrace growth. But growth requires surrender, and surrender is terrifying for those who are still holding on to fear. This is why some people will try to stay, but their energy will shift. They will feel drawn toward you, yet hesitate. They will admire you, yet resist you. It's not a conscious choice. It's a deep internal conflict they may not even be able to articulate. They want the connection, but they also fear what it will demand of them. They long to be near you, but they also fear the exposure it brings. And so, they linger in between, engaging, then withdrawing, appearing, then disappearing, as if trapped in a battle between their soul and their fear. This resistance is often deeply ingrained, shaped by past experiences, beliefs, and conditioning. Some people have been taught, either directly or indirectly, that transformation is dangerous. They've been told that stepping outside of their comfort zone is reckless, that questioning long-held belief is wrong, that embracing their true self is risky. And so, when they encounter someone who embodies transformation, self-awareness, and authenticity, their conditioned mind sends out warnings. This is too much. This is unsafe. Stay where you are. But deep down, their soul knows the truth. It longs for change. It craves evolution. That's why they were drawn to you in the first place. That's why, no matter how much distance they create, a part of them will always feel the pull toward you. The problem is, until they decide to face their fears, they will remain stuck, wanting growth but resisting it, longing for change but fearing what it will require. So what does this mean for you? It means you should never take someone's withdrawal personally. It means you should release any guilt or self-doubt that arises when people distance themselves from you. Instead of asking, "What did I do wrong?" shift your perspective and ask, "What did they see in me that they weren't ready to face?" The truth is, you are not meant to lower your energy to make others comfortable. You are not meant to dim your light so that others don't feel exposed. If your presence triggers someone's awakening, that is a gift, even if they aren't ready to receive it. Not everyone is prepared to embrace the truth, and that's okay, but that is not your burden to carry. If you've ever felt the weight of someone pulling away, let this be a reminder. You are not the problem. You are a mirror, a catalyst, a source of light that some will be drawn to and others will run from. And that is not a reflection of your worth. It is a reflection of where they are on their journey. One day, they may come back. One day, they may be ready to face what they once feared. But until then, your role is simply to continue being yourself. Keep shining. Keep growing. Keep embodying the truth that some people aren't ready for. Because when the time is right, those who are truly meant to walk with you will meet you in that light, not run from it. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to affirm your awareness. Share your thoughts in the comments or type, "I embrace my light," and release those who aren't ready for it. Let this be your declaration that you will continue to walk your path unapologetically and powerfully, knowing that those who are meant for you will never be afraid of what they see in your reflection. They once thought that walking away was the right choice. At the time, they believed that leaving would bring them peace, clarity, or even a sense of freedom. Maybe they told themselves that distance would help them think more clearly or allow them to move forward without confusion. Yet now, when everything is quiet and their thoughts settle, they realize that you are still there. No matter how much they try to push you out of their mind, your presence lingers. The feelings they once ignored have grown stronger, and the emotions they tried to suppress now demand to be felt. Regret has started to settle in their heart. The choices they once made with confidence now seem like mistakes they cannot undo. Back then, they were convinced that letting go was the best decision, that breaking away was necessary. But as time passes, they are beginning to see things differently. They are coming to terms with how much you meant to them and how deeply you impacted their life. What they once saw as a simple choice has turned into a painful realization. They did not just walk away from a situation. They walked away from someone who truly mattered. They may have acted impulsively, thinking that cutting ties would help them regain control over their emotions. They assumed that distance would make things easier, that moving forward alone would give them peace of mind. But instead of relief, they now feel a heavy weight pressing on their heart. The absence of your presence has created a void they were not prepared for. They thought that leaving would bring them closure, but instead, it has brought them confusion. The further they try to go, the more they feel the pull of what they left behind. You were not just another person in their life. You were someone who brought light, warmth, and meaning. Now, they are realizing that your presence was not ordinary. You left a mark on their soul, something they cannot erase no matter how hard they try. Even if they attempt to distract themselves, even if they try to move on, they keep circling back to the same thoughts and feelings. No matter how much they convince themselves that they made the right choice, their heart tells a different story. At first, they didn't see the truth. They believed that the good things happening in their life were because of their own efforts. They thought that their growth, success, and happiness were just natural progressions of life. But now, looking back, they see the difference. When you were in their life, everything seemed to flow effortlessly. Opportunities came easily, challenges felt manageable, and they had a sense of direction. Your presence gave them balance, clarity, and motivation, even if they did not realize it at the time. But now, things are different. Without you, they feel lost. The energy that once uplifted them is gone, and the sense of ease they once had has faded. They struggle to find the same inspiration, the same drive, the same sense of purpose they once had. Doors that used to open for them without effort now seem shut. Paths that once seemed clear are now clouded with uncertainty. They thought they could move forward alone, but now they see that your presence was never something to take for granted. It was not just about love or companionship. It was about the energy you brought into their life. Imagine a traveler who once walked through a beautiful forest, where the path was clear, the air was fresh, and every step felt effortless. Alongside them was a quiet but powerful presence. You, offering direction, encouragement, and silent support. They never questioned why their journey felt so smooth. They simply enjoyed the ease of it. But one day, they decided to walk alone. Maybe they thought they no longer needed guidance. Maybe they took for granted the invisible hand that had made their journey so effortless. At first, nothing seemed different, but as they continued forward, they started noticing the change. The once clear paths became tangled with doubt. The sunlight that once lit their way began to dim. Progress became slow, difficult, exhausting. Obstacles that once disappeared before them now stood firm. They struggled to move forward, unsure of why everything suddenly felt so hard. Only then did they realize it wasn't the world that changed. It was the absence of your light that made everything feel darker. Now, they find themselves hesitating. They want to reach out, but fear holds them back. They replay conversations in their head, wondering what they should say, how they should approach you, whether you would even want to hear from them. They feel the weight of their silence, knowing that the distance they created has built walls between you. They want to break through those walls, but they are afraid. What if they say the wrong thing? What if you have already moved on? What if their words are not enough to fix what has been broken? They know that if they want to reconnect, it has to be meaningful. They cannot just send a casual message and expect things to go back to the way they were. The divine is urging them to step forward, to choose honesty, to embrace vulnerability. But fear still whispers in their ear, making them second-guess every thought, every intention. They stand at a crossroads, torn between the need to heal what has been broken and the fear of facing the consequences of their actions. The truth is, this separation was never meant to hurt you. It was meant to protect you. The divine has been watching over you, ensuring that you are not pulled back into cycles that no longer serve your growth. This was not a rejection. It was a redirection. You were being shielded from energies that were not yet ready to align with yours. While they struggle with their emotions, you are being guided towards something greater. The loss they feel is not just about missing you, it is about recognizing the void they created. They now understand that what they had with you was rare, special, and deeply meaningful. But the question remains, will they find the courage to reach out, to face their fears, to take responsibility for their choices? Or will they remain stuck in a cycle of hesitation, letting time slip through their fingers? The path to reunion is not about waiting for them to come back. It is about letting go of attachment, releasing the need for control, and trusting the timing of the universe. True connection cannot be forced. If they are meant to return, they will. And if they do, it will not be because of pressure or expectation, but because the universe has aligned the path for both of you. In the meantime, your focus should be on your own journey, on healing, on growth, on embracing the life that is meant for you. Do not hold on too tightly to what is uncertain. Instead, trust in the divine plan that is unfolding. What is truly meant for you will never pass you by. What is meant to return will find its way back in the perfect moment. If this message speaks to your heart, take a moment to reflect. Have you ever felt the hand of divine protection guiding you away from something you once thought you needed? Sometimes, what feels like loss is actually a blessing in disguise, leading you towards something far greater. Trust in that. Believe that what is meant for you will always come back in the right time, in the right way. And if this message resonates with you, share your thoughts. Let the universe know that you trust its guidance. And most importantly, keep moving forward with faith, knowing that every step you take is leading you toward your highest purpose.